Hiring isn't just about finding someone willing to take the job. You need the right person with the right background who can move your business forward. If you want candidates who truly match what you're looking for, trust Indeed Sponsored Jobs. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post stands out to quality candidates who actually fit the role. According to Indeed data, 90% are more likely to be hired and trusted by 1.6 million companies. Spend more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results. Now with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help your job get the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/Podcats13. Just go to Indeed.com/Podcats13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/Podcats13. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Do it the right way with Indeed.
Happy holidays! Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a happy holiday.
It's Lynda Lippin here, your host. Welcome back to the Pilates Goddess podcast. It's a cold December here in New York City, but I have an idea of something awesome to keep you warm. Come join me tomorrow night. I am going to be at To the Moon's brand corporate headquarters in Bushwick, Brooklyn. It's just a few blocks from the L. They have a gorgeous space. We can smoke inside. We're going to do a Pilates class. We're going to have refreshments. You're going to get a great goodie bag. You're going to get to meet the team. There's a discount for bud tenders, but everybody is invited. It's $30, $20 for bud tenders. It is a 2-hour event. I would love to see you there. All you need to do is show up with your mat and you'll be good to go. You don't need to bring your own cannabis. You don't need to bring anything, just yourself. You do need to RSVP. You can find the link at puffpuffpilates.com, and I will also post that link in the show notes. But if you're planning on going and you're here and you want to see me, get on that registration now because it's already Tuesday afternoon. That said, let's just talk about December for a second. Let's talk about December, Pilates, fitness, money, January, all of those things. You know, even though I have left a lot of the online communities, I left Reddit, I left a lot of not running my own Facebook groups anymore, I'm still in enough that I kind of see what people are talking about online. And what I'm seeing right now is a lot of shock and surprise from Pilates teachers and other fitness professionals that their income goes down starting around Thanksgiving. Now, my friends, I have been in this business for 36 fucking years. And guess what? Guess what? Every single year, my business goes down November, December, and the beginning of January. The only time it didn't was when I worked in Turks and Caicos, right? So when I was working at Parrot Key in Turks and Caicos and I was on the island where everybody went on vacation from here, our high season, our super busy ass time was now. But now for me, I am relishing in my ability to do a lot of Pilates, to take a lot of classes, because basically most of my clients are gone and away. Why am I not freaking out about this year, you may say? And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my relationship with money, about my last few years, about my life with money, and what I'm doing differently now, what you might consider doing differently, and what might work. So here's the deal. I basically grew up with zero financial literacy. My parents had none. My dad had no idea what he was doing, neither did my mother. They were not interested in learning from anybody. They were always scared in the way that people who survived the Depression or grew up with that were scared. They had also been through the Second World War. You know, there was just a lot. There was a lot of trauma happening there. So they basically imbued me with the idea that maybe I could marry rich and that's like how you get money. But other than that, unless I was a lawyer or a doctor, they weren't sure how that would go. Certainly not owning my own business, certainly not Pilates, certainly not anything like that. In fact, my dad once had the opportunity to own his own business in partnership with one of his oldest friends. His friend ended up doing really well. My dad stayed corporate. The corporation folded. He was laid off and was fucked. So, yes, businesses fail, but frankly, so do fucking corporations, and nobody gives a shit either way. So when I started my businesses, and started working for myself, I didn't really see the value of compounded savings. I didn't understand that. My parents never taught me that, even as a kid. And my mom worked in a bank, no less, which makes it even worse. And I basically just kind of always lived month to month, year to year, and that's what I did for pretty much my entire life. Some of you may know, because I talked about it here, I've been very public about it, but a couple of years ago, I found myself in a position where I was sick, my clientele was down, I was no longer able to support a lot of my online clients, and I ended up not being able to pay my bills or my rent. I was in housing court a couple of years ago, and over the last 2 years, I managed to pay back, I think, $36,000 in past due rent, as well as past due money to credit cards and creditors. And right now, in a couple of months, I'm going to have all of my credit cards paid off. I have paid off all of the past due rent, and this is the first December that I'm not completely freaking out, because even though I'm a little dead and most of my clients were away, I planned for it this year. I planned for it. So I'm not losing my shit now. I doubled down a little more on my private clients who were in town, seeing if they wanted an extra session or an extra private. Doubled down a little bit more on the Puff Puff Pilates end of things. And all of this is kind of rewarding me in a way where I'm going to get through the end of this year. I was able to, get ourselves a few nice things for our apartment, got a sofa, got a new mattress after 10 years, little things like that, which is making life feel a little bit better. But I want you to really, especially if you're like a young Pilates teacher, fucking sit down and deal with the finances. You have to figure out, first of all, how much you are spending every month. That's on everything, business-wise, personal-wise, rent, gifts, food, whatever, weed, alcohol, whatever it is you're doing, health insurance, regular insurance. You need to figure all of that out, how much you actually need a month to live. You need to figure out how much you need to earn. You need to figure out how much you need to pay in taxes. And then you need to figure out how you're going to crack that nut every month. And hopefully, ideally, crack that nut in 10 months so that you have a couple of months where you can lay low and ride, like now when your clients are all away. Because I promise you, doing like crazy discounts on Black Friday, Christmas, I used to do that. You know what that does? That feels great for the moment, right? You get a chunk of cash in, but then for the next 3 months, you are serving on those low-cost packages that you sold when you were desperate for money. And then that is going to lead to your 2026 income being slow until the second quarter, and then it's going to lead you to be screwed at the end of the year again. Can you see how this goes? So I really recommend getting some financial literacy. I am not going to put references for that in these show notes. I have people that I'm working with, some that I worked with and then left, some that I'm continuing to work with. I am happy to give out referrals. Just get in touch with me, Lynda at LyndaLippin.com, DM me on social, whatever you need to do, and I'll get you in touch with people who can help you start to get your shit together. All right, but it is really important because we need to be calm, cool, and collected and have our shit together so we can adequately serve our clients, our family, our friends, and ourselves. Okay, and we can't do that if we're freaking out all over the place all the time. And money is one of the biggest things to freak out about. So, once again, you're looking towards 2026. How much do you need to make? How many hours do you want to work? Are you getting paid what you need to get paid? Do you have the insurance that you need? Do you have the things that you need? Okay, not even things that you want. Do you have what you need? And once you have what you need, then you're going to work on getting what you want. Okay? All right, my loves. Once again, if you're here in New York, please, please, please sign up for the To the Moon event tomorrow night. I would love to see you. Please let your friends know. If you don't use, come. Have a great Pilates class. Give the goodie bag to one of your friends who does. All right. Love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Bye.
Hiring isn't just about finding someone willing to take the job. You need the right person with the right background who can move your business forward. If you want candidates who truly match what you're looking for, trust Indeed Sponsored Jobs. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post stands out to quality candidates who actually fit the role. According to Indeed data, 90% are more likely to be hired and trusted by 1.6 million companies. Spend more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results. Now with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help your job get the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/Podcats13. Just go to Indeed.com/Podcats13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/Podcats13. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Do it the right way with Indeed.
Happy holidays! Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a Happy Holiday. If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.